Hey, Squirrel Bait. I hope you're having a good day. I'm back and I'm ready for chapter 5 because the last three chapters we read all together because it was just a little short, one verse apiece. And, chapter 2 is three verses. It's just little short paragraphs. But it was definitely setting up that the world is consistent because God made it consistent. And so I'm kind of curious what Enoch is leading this into. So if we start with chapter 5, it says, chapter 5, verse 1. This is a little bit longer chapter. Observe how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. For what reason? Take heed and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that lives forever has made them so. And all his works go on like this from year to year forever. And all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks, do not change, but according as God has ordained, so it is done. And behold how the sea and the rivers accomplish their tasks in like manner, and do not change their tasks from his commands. But you have not been steadfast. Okay, so here we go. Nor done the commands of the Lord. But you have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. O you hard hearted, you will find no peace. Therefore you will execrate your days, and the years of your life will perish, and the years of your destruction will be multiplied in continuous execration, and you will find no mercy. In those days you will make your names a continuous execration to all the righteous, and by you will all who curse, and all the sinners and godless will imprecate you. And for you, the godless, there will be a curse, and all the righteous will rejoice, and there will be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy, and peace, and forbearance. There will be salvation to them, an excellent light, and for all of you sinners there will be no salvation, but a curse will abide on all of you. But for the chosen ones there will be light, and joy, and peace, and they will inherit the earth, and then wisdom will be bestowed on the chosen ones, and they will all live and never again sin, either through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise will be humble, and they will not transgress again, nor will they sin all the days of their life, nor will they die of the divine anger or wrath, but they will complete the number of the days of their life, and their lives will be increased in peace, and the years of their joy will be multiplied, in continuous gladness and peace all the days of their life. So, in the previous three chapters, and the beginning of chapter 5, he's talking about how everything everything that works for God and is steadfast and continuous, like it doesn't waver, like the stars don't change their course, the seasons don't change their times and courses and what they do, like it doesn't get cold in the summer, and it doesn't, and the trees follow the seasons because God made it so. And how I'm guessing he's using that as an example that you should be steadfast also, and the people that aren't steadfast are the ones like the seas don't change. Yeah. Verse 4 of chapter 5. But you have not been steadfast, nor done the commands of the Lord, but you have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. So he's saying that you're not steady, you're not solid. Like you're not steadfast and you're not following his commands. That's the connection I'm making here. I'm sure there's a theologian out there that can explain it better, but the connection I'm making is he's saying that the stars and the earth and the seasons and the seas all follow his commands and therefore are steady on the course. But you, because you don't follow his commands, are shifty, and because of that, because of your pride, you have not been steadfast nor done the commands of the Lord, but have turned away and spoken hard words, proud and hard words, with your impure mouths against his greatness. And he's saying, because you haven't been steadfast, and because you have turned away from the commands, that you will find no peace. Like he's basically cursing you, and the years of your life will perish. So I guess you're going to live shorter lives. No mercy, no peace. And by you will all who curse, curse. So verse 6 here, in those days you will make your names a continuous execration to all the righteous, and by you will all who curse, curse, and all the sinners and godless will imprecate you, and for you, the godless, there will be a curse. So it sounds kind of like the godless will eat themselves. Like is he talking to us? I'm assuming he is talking to us. Like we haven't had any subject aside from us yet. So I'm assuming that this is like referencing the reader. And so like all the impure and wicked people, paraphrasing here, like all the impure and wicked people will attack each other. And then, so that's the curse, is that all the impure and wicked will be at each other's throats, is how I'm reading this. And for the righteous, he has a blessing here, the peace and salvation, you know. And then, for all you sinners, there will be no salvation here in 6, but a curse will abide on all of you, reinstating what he said earlier. And then again, he goes back to the righteous. But for the chosen ones, there will be light and joy and peace, and they will inherit the earth. And they will receive wisdom. So he's talking. So he started out with an apocalypse, basically the righteous judgment, and in chapter 1, and then in chapter 2, 3, and 4, he's setting up an example of how things behave when they follow God's command. They're straight and they're steady and they're reliable. And then he goes into not following God's command makes you unstable, and because you're unstable, you're wicked and you're prideful, and it's kind of how I'm interpreting it. But the people that are righteous and follow God's commands, that are steady, will receive peace and long lives. And so he goes from like this example to the curse of not being in that example, and the blessing of being that example. The blessing of, the curse of not being steadfast that comes along with not being steadfast. You'll live shorter lives. You'll be miserable. All the other miserable people will be attacking you, to the blessing of following the command, which is you will have peace and you will have long lives and you will have, the light will shine upon you and you will receive wisdom. Now this bit here, and they will all live and never sin again, either through ungodly, like this. Okay, so this is this is verse 8 of chapter 5. Wisdom will be bestowed upon them, and they will all live and never sin again, either through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise will be humble, and they will not transgress again, nor will they sin all the days of their lives, nor will they die of the divine anger or wrath, but they will complete the number of the days of their life, and their lives will be increased in peace, and the years of their joy will be multiplied, in continuous gladness and peace all the days of their lives. Now this little bit here about how they will never sin again, that's interesting to me. And I'm not really sure how to interpret that, because like the Bible itself, like even Paul talks about how like he is constantly purging himself of sin. I'm paraphrasing here, but like even the apostle Paul, like all of the apostles, you know, dealt with sin in some form or another. You had anger, you had doubt. I mean, you had Thomas with doubt, you had Simon Peter with anger issues and like aggression. You had, and so for him to say this, I'm assuming, like as we go further, I'm getting more and more context, but I'm assuming that he's still referring to this apocalypse that he talks about in chapter 1. So it's like this is during the apocalypse or shortly after the apocalypse, and all the earth will perish. So maybe this is like the people that are experiencing the apocalypse, how the righteous will receive peace through. Like, I guess they will be pulled to heaven, or is this talking about leading up to the apocalypse? I'm going to have to do some more research, and I'm sure that as we continue on into the later chapters, because this is only the first section, that will receive more context. Yeah, because it looks like chapter 6 here, they kind of change gears, but we'll discuss that in another video. But yeah, this is very interesting so far. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. But anyway, Squirrel Bait, I'm going to call that done. And we'll continue on with the next chapter later on. I want you to know that I'm proud of you and that I love you. Always stay learning. Keep your mind open. It's a big world. I hope you have a good day, Squirrel Bait. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.